Are you an effective multitasker? Do you multitask all the time? Do you feel like it's the only way you can get anything done is to multitask? Well, I have got some news for you, and it's news that you are maybe not going to like, but I want you to listen anyways. So, studies have shown that 97.5% of humans cannot multitask. Not that just we're bad at it, like we literally cannot multitask. It's not something our brains can do. We can't practice it to get better. Like our brains just cannot multitask. We cannot do more than one thing at once. 2.5% of the population are what we call super taskers, and those are people who can multitask and they can do it effectively. But for the rest of us, we just can't do it. And this was, I mean, I won't say that it was a shock for me to hear this because I think we've all had that experience where, you're, let's say, on a conference call or a Zoom meeting and you're trying to pay attention, but also you're writing an email and you end up just writing verbatim whatever somebody is saying, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with whatever you were trying to write. Like, we know it doesn't really work that well, right? We're not that great at multitasking, but you probably didn't know how bad we are at it. Now, multitasking is something that, look, I used to have it on my resume. I used to say, oh, I'm a great multitasker until I learned that no, I'm actually not. I'm a terrible multitasker, just like most people. I unfortunately am not part of the 2.5% of people who can multitask. But knowing this actually really helps because I don't try to do it anymore. If you know that you can't multitask, then it's not something that you're trying to do because what happens when we do try to multitask, for those people, the 97.5% of people who are unable to multitask, what actually is happening is that we're context switching really, really fast. And context switching is incredibly stressful. I bet it feels that way to you when you're just being pulled in all these directions. Context switching is stressful. Multitasking and context switching is what we're really doing. It also is terrible for our productivity. So we are multitasking because we think it's making us more productive, when in fact it's doing the exact opposite. Studies show that when we attempt to multitask, we reduce our productivity by about 40%. Yes, you heard that right, 40%. And why is this? It's because we can't focus on the things. It's because we are making more errors. So we're not as efficient. We're making more mistakes. It also just feels really stressful, as you probably have felt before. So multitasking, it's this thing that we hold up on this pedestal, like, this would be amazing if we could do it, but we can't. We can't actually do it. And it's making you less productive and it's making you more stressed. And it doesn't feel good. I bet you know that from experience, right? So if you are not part of the 2.5% who can actually multitask, then I have a little tweak that you can make. And here's what it is. All I want you to do is to, instead of multitasking, single task. What is single tasking? It's just doing one thing at a time until that thing is done. Or maybe you need to stop doing that thing for a second to attend to something else, but you write down like what it is, where you were, so that you can be able to come back to it a little bit more easily. We think that by doing all these things at once, in that we're going to be doing them faster, better, etc. But what happens is that we are slower, right? We make more mistakes. We have to go back and fix our work when we attempted to multitask. We are incredibly stressed by this. So what if we just stopped trying to do something that our brains cannot do and instead did one thing at a time? Now, it can really be helpful to use a task system, have some sort of task app or something so that you know what to be doing, right? So that you have a plan, that you're knowing what you're supposed to focus on. That can be incredibly helpful. Otherwise, we're kind of ping-ponging between all of the things that we think that we should be doing without a real plan in place. But single tasking, once you know what you want to do, it can make it so much easier for you to actually get the things done that you are intending to do and to not feel so stressed about it at the same time. Now, you may be thinking, not me. I bet I'm one of those. I bet I'm one of those 2.5% because, I can drive and listen to the radio at the same time, right? Or my podcast or whatever. Not the same thing, right? So those are actually two different modalities, right? You can drive a car doing something with your body and that kind of the memorized activity, right? And you can listen to something at the same time. But you might find that when you're doing something difficult when you're driving, like maybe you're trying to parallel park, that you actually do need to turn off the radio or your podcast so that you can focus on the thing. And that would be a good sign that you are maybe not one of those people who can multitask in all the same modes. So yes, you can listen to a podcast while you're going for a run, probably. You can listen to a podcast while you're driving, probably. But these are your oral system and your whatever we're doing separately. These are different systems that we're using. So if multitasking has been something that you have been trying to do and failing at for a long time, stop trying and instead single task. You will be less stressed. You will get more done. You will not make as many mistakes. What do you think? Let me know. Have you given up on multitasking or are you ready to give up on multitasking? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see this type of content every single week, then please make sure to like and subscribe so that it shows up in your feed and so I know that you liked it. Until next time.
Just like she said, make sure to like and subscribe because only about 21% of the people that watch our videos are actually subscribed. So it'd just be a big help if you keep on revisiting this. It will just show up on your feed more often.